What was your question again?
Are you invested in Wolverine?
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Before we really get into this one, let's just kick in the music. Hey, real quick, do you know if StreamYard did any kind of Black Friday sales or whatever? Because I'm setting up the videos in the channels, and you know how they have the tags. They have like a pretty good algorithm to pick up some good tags. Do you know if they have like a bundle to add more channels to it?
No idea.
Not StreamYard, freaking TubeBuddy.
TubeBuddy.
TubeBuddy. I don't know why I said StreamYard.
No, I don't.
Damn it. I was like right now I'm uploading some stuff here, so we'll get to that in a second. But before we really begin, we always have these sponsors in our description. We always say get yourself protected. We always say Buzz TV. Whatever it is that we got, best way to support us is check the description below. We do get a little bit of a kickback, but you get product and you get stuff. So
Good shit.
you guys get some shiz nits. So get yourself hooked up. Make sure you guys do check out the description below for whatever we got. Do I look a little dark?
A little bit natural tones. It's just natural light, right?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I do have the lights I could turn on here, but I don't know if I'll get blown up.
Yeah, a little blown up.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe just turn on the one on your left. No, never mind.
So Wolverine, I'm going through puberty, guys.
Wolverine.
Going through puberty. Wolverine Inu. So welcome to Beyond the BS. This is the Beyond the BS episode where we just find a lot of random stuff. So we will be talking about Beyond the Crypto. We will be talking about Beyond the Shipping Deliveries. Just Beyond the BS today. It's a little bit different than What the Hell, but it's similar to it. But you guys enjoy this. So Wolverine Inu. So I said, as you guys know, we always like to talk a little bit before we begin recording. And just like, let's just hit record because we'll start talking too much. So I said, I saw this coin about 2 weeks ago. And you said, so did you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's only about a month old.
Right.
At the most. I think actually, hold on. I'll find the date for you. November 1st. Yeah, month.
So what is that? Okay, so there's a couple things that happened. Freaking Bitcoin went from, man, Bitcoin was literally kissing the $70,000 mark. It got to like 69,980 something, I think it was. And I remember watching, I'm just like, it's a few dollars away. I was like, holy crap. And then the first thing I was thinking about was, as soon as it hits that 70,000, where is it going to consolidate? It's going to dip. It's going to dip.
Yeah, because anytime you hit a number, like a round number like that, it's always a mental resistance, right? People are always like, because you got to think, right? With some platforms, they let you automatically set a buy limit and a sell limit, right? People like to pick nice round numbers like 70,000. If they bought in at 20,000 at the beginning of this year, maybe they pick 70,000 to take that freaking profit because that's some nice money right there.
It's a nice chunk of change. So I was like, man, I was I know we've been talking about it, like how we knew it was going to come down a little bit. So a couple things happened during this time. I told Next Level about this Saitama, and both made a little bit of profit on it, right?
A little bit.
A little bit. And then some stuff has happened with Saitama. It looks like they're still here for the long haul, but they're dealing with a couple things right now. Trying to get verified and trying to make sure everything is legal with images and crap like that. It's like simple stuff. It's not stuff that's like scary, but these guys do seem like they're doing a lot of stuff. They also had a YouTuber that totally, like, just, it was wrong what he did. He was trying to do a good thing for the community, but I think there was just a miscommunication between the devs, or not even the devs, I would say the owner, the main dude of Saitama, to allow and say, hey, this is our official stream that we're going to be using for this show. And the excuse, of course, is like, well, we couldn't bring our own production, so we just went to the next solution that we had. I think they should just not said anything and said, hey, when we get back, we'll make all the announcements. Leave it alone. Leave it to flip alone. So it kind of looked like a frat party. It looked like they were spending everyone's money there on booze and Lord knows what else. So a couple things happened. I don't know if you're following this along, but Suzuki, it seems like it's a hardcore rug pull. It went like way up here, and then it went like crashed. It added a 0 to its freaking. Oh, it's crazy. The value dropped insane, but I don't know. Have you been following Suzuki at all, or heard anything about it?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this, and you tell me what you think. If it's beyond the BS, or it's beyond the BS, no matter what. But tell me what your feelings are on this. The main guy, he was interviewed on Saitama's thing. Like they had like an interview, and they said like, oh, we're gonna be bringing these games, and they looked good. The games that were coming out, you know how they have like Mario Kart. They have what's the other one from Mario Kart that's similar?
How do you spell this one?
Suzuki, TSUZUKI.
Is this Suzuki Inu?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, another Inu.
Yeah, I love their Enus. So many Enus. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's another Beyond the BS crap. What the hell's up with these Enus? So, bro,
Wow.
the game that they were gonna have looked legit. It was like they had this version of a Mario Kart, kind of like Mario Kart or like Sonic Kart or freaking Nickelodeon Kart. Like they had like with pandas and animals and stuff, but it looked legit. And they had a full lineup of games. It was like a dozen games that were coming, and every single one of them looked bangers. They looked like they were going to be amazing. The main dude decided he didn't have time to really manage all this stuff, so ended up selling it. But he still wanted to be part of the team. He's just like, I still want to be part of this project. I just need somebody to take the helm and go for it. So this fool gets sick. He disappears for like a few days. And during that time, I think this is BS. You know, when you're sick and you're laying in your deathbed, you're probably still going to check social media. If you have a project like this, like us, if like we got beyond the streams that there is a couple times in the beginning of when we first started this journey, when we were just grinding on stuff. And even if you don't feel good, even if you're sick, even if you're busy, you're still checking it. You're still looking at analytics. You're still looking at numbers. You're still looking at how many views we got, like how much closer we are to get monetized, like stuff like that. You're still looking at that stuff, especially in its infant stages, you know? Supposedly, he's been off the grid for a couple days, and the guy that he sold it to took all the money and ran. Now, the main dude is getting death threats. and he's getting people saying that we're going to find you and stuff like that. And he's coming back saying like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what was going on. I was sick. I was gone. I came back to this disaster. This is not what I meant. I didn't have time to do it. This other guy was supposed to take over. It's not me. What do you think?
So what? He just gave it to a random person, or
That I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know who he gave it to, if it was a random person or if it was somebody that was an investor or somebody that said, "Hey, I'll buy this project off you to take it over." Or somebody he's been working with. I didn't get the details on that part.
because you wouldn't just hand over something that you've been working on to just anybody.
Supposedly he made like several several hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like 300,000 or 400,000, I don't know. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling the project. So
It's the risk that you take with investing in some of these very volatile coins in the beginning.
it's very interesting because he makes it sound like I'm gonna bring it back, guys. Don't worry about it.
The website's down.
Website's down. Website's gone. That's what I'm saying. This guy, when he got control over everything, took down the website, closed off all social media networks, took the money, took whatever money was in there and took off. Like he sold everything into something else, some other coin, and um, I'm just like, damn, dude. I don't know what happened. you know. I know me personally, and these are real life situations. I put a couple $100 on this, and now I have like $5.
Shit's real. So we always tell
So
people, don't mess with money that you need.
yeah. So right now, I already talked to my bookkeeper. Said, hey, I'm at a loss on this one. What do I do? And the first thing he told me was, sell what you got, because we're marking down everything that we wrote, like how much money I'm investing in which coins. Like we're tracking everything that I'm doing. And he was just like, sell it. He's like, I know you're gonna sell it at a loss. I know you lost money, but we can claim that on our taxes. You invested in this money on this asset, you lost, sell it. So now we're gonna say this is how much I invested and this is how much I lost. So it's like giving a donation. Here you go. So I was like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But so that happened. Now there's another one called Mononoke. And it's another gaming one. It's another one that again with Saitama, when they had their it was when you and me first talked about Saitama, and I said you need to get on this now because they just made some big announcements. The Suzuki thing happened a week and a half later, where it all of a sudden just collapsed. And Mononoke is slowly collapsing. People are saying they're doing a slow rug pull, like it's like a gentle, like they're just gently pulling it out, and someone's posting stuff like look how much money is here, look how much money is here, that they're tracking of people pulling out and stuff. But it does look like they are producing stuff. Mononoke, Mono, Mononoke. So it's mono, Mono, and then Noke. It looks like some of the games that are coming up is actually coming, and they've been talking about it. And it also looks like the games are okay. They don't look great. It looks a little bit more retro-ish on their avenue, the way they're going. and value did drop when the whole Bitcoin thing went down. They drop. Everybody dropped. Everybody just went to this shit right now. But a new one popped up during this whole drama for your mama, called Helsing Inu.
Oh my god.
And I was like, screw it, let me get in on this. And there's it brand spanking new. They started posting all kinds of stuff, dude. They posted a billboard in Times Square, New York, of Helsing, and I was just like, huh. I'm like, okay, it looks like they have a marketing team that's doing something. And around a couple weeks ago, heard about this Wolverine Inu. Do you know anything about this Wolverine Inu?
No.
Nothing. Is it a pump and dump?
Listen, it's a meme, and like automatically when they put Inu in their name, to me it's a meme coin. Like volatility is real. If you look at the chart on this stupid Inu, it's like whoa, 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 whoa. Some choppy waters.
Why do they call it Inu? What's the purpose of saying Inu?
Because it's a dog coin now. It's a Wolverine and a dog.
Is that what Inu means? Dog?
Shiba Inu is a dog.
But is that what it is? Are they doing? Was Dogecoin called Doge Inu? I think it was always called Doge for some reason.
Okay, the definition behind Inu, according to the freedictionary.com. What? Where did it go? Never mind. I lost it. Apparently in Polynesia, it means to drink.
Means to what?
Means to drink.
Well,
it can mean something in a bunch of in Japanese it means dog. So it's a Wolverine dog.
So Mononoke dog,
No.
Suzuki dog. Well, yeah, I don't know why they're. I guess that's like the first red flag. As soon as you see Inu, is like, whoa, is this for real or not? Is this for real or not? That is the question. That is the question. So what are your thoughts on Wolverine Inu? Besides, you have no idea what it is.
I'm not a meme coin kind of person. A lot of people think that they can't buy a whole Bitcoin, so they're not going to invest in it. But it doesn't matter if you put $5 in Bitcoin, it's still going to move the same percentage the whole coin does. So I don't really buy a whole lot of cheap coins. I have a little bit of Fun Token. That's probably the cheapest one that I have, and I think that's worth around 2 pennies. But aside from that, it's just a lot of the bigger coins that I'm in. I don't really go with the smaller ones. But majority of my portfolio now is coins that I'm staking as well. So I'm not really interested or coerced into these meme coins like all the e-news. Don't get me wrong, there can be some good money that you can make from them, but you have to be on the ball when you're really working with some of these, because they're very, very volatile, they're very fast paced, and if you don't get it at the right time, you could be waiting for a while for it to come back. Look at all the people that got into Shiba when it first came out, right? Or SafeMoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, don't talk to me about SafeMoon. Well, the good thing about SafeMoon is, so I talked to Dimmy. Dimmy, if you're listening out there, big shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming on the show a couple times with us.
Hell yeah.
I talked to Dimmy a week ago, I think it was. Maybe 2 weeks ago. We got on a video chat and we were just kind of just hanging out, catching up, talking about cryptos and stuff. And I was sending him, I'm just like, dude, what do you think about this? And he's just like, this could be really, really good, or this could be a scam. He's like, but it could definitely grow from what it looks like. Every single one of them that I sent him was like, dude, these could. He's like, where are you finding these ones? Saitama, Mononoke, like he's like, where the hell are you finding? I'm like, just looking around, man, just kind of poking around stuff, and when him and me talked about Safe Moon, and he said that he did his research on it. He's like the people that are there, one's like a bus driver, one of them's like the trash man. Like these guys don't have like real legit like background on this stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say like me, like you and me, but it's kind of like, imagine your son and imagine my niece decide to make a coin and say, hey, let's just make this coin and call it Space Moon.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is. Like zero of like they're interested in it, but they have there's no plan. There's no real roadmap for this, you know? So these guys do seem like they're trying to get something going, but the problem is that they don't know what they're doing. So I haven't lost all my money in that one yet. I definitely did lose some money, but not all my money. So I'm kind of just letting it sit there for now. Yeah, there's so much stuff happening. Okay, we're gonna change the convo a little bit from the cryptos, but we're gonna come back with crypto because I do have a Beyond the BS thing on here that my buddy Jumper sent me. I sent you the video yesterday to listen to it. I don't know if you heard it, if you watched it yet. Oh, dang it. I know you're driving. You could have listened to it. It was good.
No.
It was really good.
No.
So Amazon shut down for Black Friday.
Like the strike?
Amazon, yep. They went on strike. It was this global level event. And I did just quote the album name of Busta Rhymes from back in the day. Bro, I bought this Nighthawk, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like 500 and something bucks. They had a freaking Black Friday sale for 300 bucks, dude.
Wow.
So I ended up buying it again, and I'm like, I'll just do the swap, you know?
Yeah.
I'll send them the brand new one back. I'm not going to send them the old one, the one that I'm currently using. I'll send them the brand new one back. But I'm going to keep the old one, but I'm going to keep it at the new price. So check this out, man. Black Friday was a couple of days ago. Today is December 1st, when we're recording this episode. And I was supposed to get that on Saturday, November. Ooh, I gotta check this out actually. And you know what? When that sale came out, I didn't buy it on Black Friday. I actually bought it on Thursday, the 25th, because you know how they have their early sales start.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it on the 25th. I was supposed to get it on the 27th. I got a notification saying it's running a little bit late. Then I get another notification on the 28th saying it's still running a little bit late. Your arrival time should be between the 29th and the 1st, the 29th of November through the 1st of December. I get a notification last night that says, sorry for the delay. We are having issues at our warehouses with packaging and shipping. We have transferred your shipping over to UPS. Apparently, and I know people were wondering what kind of strike this was. I knew I was like wondering, but of course, everybody working at the warehouse was on strike. people who were also driving their trucks were on strike. People who were driving their personal cars to pick up packages were on strike. So they hired UPS to come to the warehouse and pick up packages.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Or you could just pay the employees.
He wants to go to the moon again. Or space.
He didn't even make it to moon. He just got out of the orbit. Like,
what did he do? He went out. He got out of the ozone layer.
He spent, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of money. Like, seats on his stupid aircraft was selling for like $34 million. Right? So the whole ordeal probably costed several hundreds of millions of dollars. And then he got up there and he came back down and he thanked all of his Amazon workers for paying for his trip. So, like, think about it. You guys are getting paid, minimum wage to about $20 an hour. And this guy's taking money that he could be reinvesting into the business or paying you more. And he's fucking flying into space. Sorry for the language. I'm just.
He's like,
and then you thank me? Like, would you give me a pizza party and then you flew to the moon? Like,
you know what? That's probably what they did. Hey, to celebrate Bezos going into space, we're gonna have a pizza party to lunch today, so that way you don't have to spend your own money. It's like, ooh, pizza. Did the Ninja Turtle show up?
Space.
I just can't, bro. I don't know. And see, and even if they took those millions of dollars on this project and reinvested it into their employees, everybody would have gotten like what, 50 cents to $1 raise. It wouldn't been much because they have a lot of employees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of employees, but I don't know. It's still okay. $100 million. Let's say I'm just guessing $100 million at least that it costs him to go to outer space for all of this shit. Going off my calculator. My calculator's not working. How many employees do you think he has? Even if he had a million employees, that's $100 an employee.
Let me look that up. How many employees does Amazon? I didn't even finish the sentence. So Amazon employs about 1.3 million people, with the addition of more than 170,000 workers from the holiday quarter alone. So 1.3 million.
They could have okay. How?
Worldwide. What is that, Step Brothers? Worldwide.
Oh, here you go. Article states Jeff Bezos spent $5.5 billion to go to space for 4 minutes. Billion. I was off by a couple zeros. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
We're talking a couple thousand per employee. That's some shit.
You know what? That could have been a freaking Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know most companies do say here's a Christmas bonus of like a couple $100. I don't see Amazon doing like $1,000 Christmas bonus per person. But if they got 1.3 million, do the math on that one. If they give $1,000 per person, how much money would that be at 1.3 million? How much would that be? Do they have it there?
They said he could have saved 37 million people from starving.
Fully fund COVAX
for 2 low-income countries. Fully fund humanitarian efforts in Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Yemen, and Horn of Africa. Fully fund the International Fund for Agriculture Development. Fully fund education. Cannot wait. What? I don't know what that means, but how countries adapt to climate change and plant up to 5 billion trees.
Okay. He could do whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't have to fund all these people. but
Yes.
his employees, he needs to take care of.
Okay. Whoa. He doesn't need to take care of them. He doesn't need to. But you
No?
don't spend $5.5 billion taking your rich ass to space and then thank your employees that are getting paid less than $20 an hour.
Okay, do the math real quick then.
Like he could have just said nothing.
He could have said nothing for sure. He could have just gone and done nothing. I agree. Okay, 1.3 million people. If each of them got $1,000, how much is that?
1.1?
1.3 million people, and they each got $1,000. How much money is that?
You're looking at 1.3 billion.
And how much was this trip?
5.5.
5.5 billion.
Yeah.
So 1.3. So he could have given everybody $2,000. Let's just
But
say.
then he wouldn't have gone to space.
Now here's the interesting thing. Let's just say he actually had this on the budget and said, "Hey, everybody was supposed to get a Christmas bonus, but because you effers
You imagine that came out?
Imagine." He's like, "Actually, I had this on the budget to give you guys $1,000 each for Christmas, but because that didn't happen, guess what? No pizza party for you." That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Now, I do agree that, oh man, I don't know, man. To me, I kind of have mixed feelings, bro. I have mixed feelings on this. Okay. Do you have a college education?
Yes.
You have a bachelor's?
No.
Do you have a associate's?
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
What do they call it in Canada?
I went to college.
You went to college. Do you have any kind of degree? Martial arts doesn't count.
No.
Okay, so you don't have, okay, just like me, I went to college, but I don't have a college piece of paper either.
Yeah.
The closest thing I have is my Microsoft Technology Associates.
Yeah.
You get your MTA and you take, you study. I have the books here, man. These books are freaking thick as hell. You study, you take a test, you get 3 shots within a year. You pass, great. You don't, gotta wait. So you and me are the product of people who probably hate school. We didn't go to college. I hate school. I hate school.
Yeah. School. I didn't go to school for school.
Me neither. And I got in trouble a lot. So, okay. There is a lot of people out there who do not get a college degree of some sort. They have some college, but they don't have a college degree. They don't have that college degree. And most of the time when an employer sees that, they don't really look at like, "Oh, you studied this." I know people say like, "Oh no, we need to get experience," because they go experience over a degree anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get some experience and you actually have a degree with it, the degree says that you are dedicated to spend X amount of years to get that degree. And I fall short on that. You fall short on that. We're relying on getting a job somewhere and just growing with wherever we're at and getting experience. I've been very fortunate to, when it comes to tech, to land good jobs. I'll share this. My last 2 jobs, in was it 2012? I was unemployed. I was teaching music. I was teaching music, and I was coming to an end of that, and I was burnt out. I went to. Do you guys have a company up there called Apple One?
That sounds familiar.
It's like a temp agency.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I went there and I took a you know how you take those typing tests? Like, how good are
No,
you at
yeah. I remember that shit back in the
Yeah.
day.
So I took a typing test. I'm just like, I'm like, you guys still do this? Like, what the hell? And they're just like, hey, we found this job. It pays $10 an hour. $10 an hour was minimum wage over here at that time. And it was working at a hospital as a temp doing referrals. Like any kind of referral that comes in, we have to look at all the stuff, make sure everything's correct. So that way people can get billed properly to their insurance. Easy. So I'm like, cool. A month working there, right in the same exact building, literally like 10 steps away from my manager at that point. The other manager runs the call center that answers calls to schedule appointments.
Mm-hmm.
And what they do is they check the referrals, and if we have if they have an issue, they ask the referral people, which where I was at, can you make sure this is good? And then they schedule their appointments. They were like, when does your thing expire? When are you done? I'm like, 3 months. I have a contract for 3 months. And they're just like, okay, could we get the number of your supervisor over at Apple One? We want to offer you a position. I'm like, really? At that same time, the company, the department that I was in wanted to do the same thing. So they went through this freaking bidding war. They literally were bidding on how much it would cost to release me from the contract. So the call center ended up winning. And I was like, cool, I'm getting hired as a permanent job, permanent full-time. I'm just like, dude, in a month, I was able to accomplish this. Awesome. You know? Around that time was when I was getting my first marriage. So got this job and I was there for a month, got married. So now this is my second month being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The director sends an email and says, hey, does anybody know how to code or how to website build or how to create stuff or, you know, stuff like that? And I reply back, I'm just like, well, I'm like, I know a little bit. I'm like, you know, what is it that you're looking for? And he was saying, you know, these websites that we have that it shows the scripts, and when you put in the doctors, you hit next and it shows you their schedules and all that. He's like, I need help with that. I'm like, really? He's like, I'm not offering you a position, but I could take you away from the phones, and that way you have a break from dealing with customers. And I'm just like, yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So I went over there, bro. He was offering me a promotion 2 weeks later. I went from $10 as a part-timer temp to $13 full-time to $20 as an applications analyst. This was in less than 3 month time frame that this happened. Freaking nuts. And then I stayed there for several years, and I ended up getting several promotions. And I think I want to say my peak, I was at 32 an hour. And I was on a freaking flex schedule, come in whenever the hell you want, leave whenever the hell you want. You know, it was amazing. It was awesome. From there, they had a big old change, and they're doing lots of cuts and everything. And I was doing this whole YouTube thing more serious. So I ended up leaving there, doing YouTube. Another company wanted to hire me, so I went there and I became their freaking operations manager. And I did that for a little bit, and then I was just like, you know what? This is for the birds, man. I need to focus on this, you know?
That's for the birds.
Well, you know how it is, man. You have your freedom to do whatever the hell you want, you know?
Well, it's not even just to do what you want, but to actually create what you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go work for something else, there's a structure, there's a product, there's a service, and you're just adding on support. You're not really redefining anything, right?
Yeah, that's true. Over there, when they made me the operations manager, I originally got hired as a data and reporting specialist. I'm like, I want a job that's like monkey work. I want to come in, I'll build all my programs so that way everything could auto run my reports. And then I could just kick back for the rest of the day. Hey, you need something? No? Cool. you know, just run my reports, send it over to them. If they have any questions, I can explain how the data reads. You cannot translate data into any other way. It tells you what it is. That's it. Super simple. The issue I had was I had numbnuts that they couldn't understand the data. They're like, hey, this data says XYZ, but why? I'm like, what do you mean, but why? It's what it is, dude. He's like, yeah, but what do we do with it? You make adjustments as what you do with it. And what? You're the CEO? What? What the hell? So I had to educate them big time on how this works. A couple months later, do you want to be the operations manager? I'm like, what? No. No. I had the president, I had the VP, the CEO, the COO, and the CFO, all of them freaking nominated me to do this. And I'm like, God damn it. And they're just like, we know you don't want to do this. We know you want monkey work, but you can come in whenever you want. You can leave whenever you want. You can work on the moon if you want. But you need to do this job because you're the only one that understands how to do this job. And they were grooming me to be the director of operations. And I just couldn't, honestly. It was just, dude, I had to get up at like 6 something in the morning to go to the district at 7 a.m. to some kind of meeting to explain everything that was here to freaking numbnuts. I'm like, how are you guys in these positions that you guys have to run these companies? But my biggest thing was what, like Bezos. I had a boss that freaking loved to go on vacations and would freaking spend the money. And I'm just like, why don't we hook these guys up, man? These guys are always busting their butts off at work. Hook them up, give them a raise. I'm like, do you know how much? Do you know how much? If you give somebody a raise $1, it's this much to us, but to them means a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
It means a lot because it makes a difference. It makes a difference on your paycheck.
I had one place that I worked at. They had an on-site Italian restaurant, and every Sunday, it was free food for everyone that was working. So I would come in after going out Saturday night pretty hammered, and I would
That's
just just eat my food and leave because I was managing a department then. But it's about those things about appreciating your employees, right? Like I would do, because I ran a call center there as well. And for my employees, I would, like, if you got the most, let's say, sales or appointments or whatever, I gave out every week movie passes. So it's like you have an incentive to do your job. And on top of that, there was a bonus for booking appointments. So you got a bonus no matter what. But if you got the most, then you also got an additional bonus. And I used to take that out of my own pocket. Because you want to know why? Because the more they booked is the bigger my bonus was. So why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Yeah. I would do the same thing with Starbucks gift cards.
Yeah. You got to do something.
Yeah. I just listening to you saying that story, I recall Veterans Day. We had certain people that we hired that were in the military, or they were still in, but as reservists. And I went to, so we had 7 locations, and I had about 50 some employees, 52 employees that I would manage. And in one day, I went to all 7 sites. I pulled every single person that was either in the military or currently in the military, and I would give them a gift card and I will talk to them, share a story. just to have that connection, you know. A lot of the times and I didn't realize this, like we had I like to do these focus groups with them, where I would choose random people from different locations and I would have them meet me at the office. And at the end of the second focus group, one of the person said, "Hey, Steve, could I say something?" And I was like, "Sure." I'm like, "Go for it." Like it was literally like, speak your piece. What is it that you guys need us to do better? And if it's not me, whoever it is that's not here in the office,
We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out. And this person said, "You know what? You are very intimidating." And I'm like, "How so?" And they're like, "Because you're by the freaking books, man." They're like, "You like if something doesn't happen right, you're there like what's going on? Like you're constantly like trying to figure out why something's not happening the way it should happen. But you are such a down to earth person on top of that, that even though you're very, very strict and it's very intimidating, like how, like they're just like, just your presence when you come in, you're just like, oh shit." You're like, he's here, you know? And they're like, but once you start talking and once you start like asking us questions, like, how are we doing? What's going on? They're like, we just get really relaxed. We get very like, it's almost like comforting to say that we appreciate you as our boss because you actually listen. You know, your approach is very, very unique to how the previous person was doing it and how the higher ups are doing it. They're like, yours is very different. You're like one of us, but at the same time, you're not one of us because you're obviously our supervisor, you know? And I was like, cool. I was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, as long as everyone's doing what they should be doing, I'm like, you guys don't have to worry about me. You know, I'm like, I'll take care of those guys over there for you guys. I'll go fight for you guys big time. So I'm like, I appreciate the honesty. I'm like, just continue to communicate and we're going to continue to move this beast and make it as good as we can, you know? So yeah. And every single one of them appreciated like what you said, showing up with freaking gift cards or having a small little party or like whatever it is, you know, out of our own pockets. Freaking Bezos. His pockets are deep.
Like they're real deep. Like he went through a divorce and his ex-wife became top 10 richest in the world.
So stupid.
It's crazy. Yeah, but you know what? In general, I'm just gonna sum it up and just say appreciate everybody, you know, thank everybody, be kind to each other, even if you're not the manager where you're working or the manager of your household. Just be thankful, appreciate everybody around you and how they're contributing to what's going on. Just be thankful because you never know when someone's gonna need to hear anything positive.
Yeah. No, for sure. Speaking of that, of bosses, I found this article that I thought this was insane. Big tech first gen founders are stepping aside. Now, we've seen a lot of people stepping aside. Some of it was kind of controversial, but there's more there. Like, I have a list here. I have a list of people here that are like stepping aside. So Amazon.
Oh shoot, we didn't talk about freaking. Okay, you're gonna get to it. Never mind.
Well, write that down somewhere just in case I don't get to it.
Oh, there's no way you're gonna skip this. There's no way.
Okay. So Amazon, July 21st, Bezos officially handed the CEO position over to a former Amazon Web Services head, Andy Jassy. Apple, Tim Cook, temporarily left in 2009 while Steve Jobs underwent medical treatment. Jobs returned. Cook went into he took charge No, he went on a leave of absence 2011, but then became CEO. Tim Cook said he doesn't intend to run the company for another decade. This just happened recently. Byte Dance. I don't know if you ever heard this one. This is Zhang Yiming, founder of the company that owns TikTok, announced he is stepping down as CEO. Google, in August of 2015, co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin.
Is this an old article?
No, this came out today.
Okay, all right. Because I'm surprised they haven't said the name yet. Because like this is the biggest one on the news.
It's I'm getting there. 1, 2, 3. There's like 3, 4, 5 more. So Google, the shakeup was seen as them handing their hands off the search engine company, leaving Sundar, I can't even say his last name, Pichai, in charge. Pichai took over CEO of Alphabet as well. Instagram, 2018, co-founder Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger announced they were stepping down. Reportedly, some major disagreements with Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. Microsoft, we know all about Microsoft. It's been a while now. Right now, it's being ran by Satya Nadella. She acts both CEO and chairman. Netflix. Am I getting there? Not yet. Netflix. I got 3 more. Netflix. In last year, Ted Sarandos joined Netflix co-founder Red Hastings as co-CEOs. And it looks like he might be taking over pretty soon. Salesforce. If you guys haven't heard about Salesforce, that's a huge one. Brett Taylor, who replaced Jack Dorsey as Twitter's,
Yeah, that's a big one. Who replaced him?
Jack Dorsey.
Yeah, but somebody who replaced him?
Brett Taylor.
What? No.
So, well, let me finish my sentence.
Jeez.
Brett Taylor. You're like, wait. You get so excited. Brett Taylor, who replaced Jack Dorsey as Twitter's chairman of the board on Monday, is also becoming the co-CEO of enterprise tech giant Salesforce, according to CNBC. It's not the first time Mark Benioff, the company's CEO and founder, will be sharing power, but it's another instance of formerly deputy starting to gain more power with the tech giant. And then speaking of Jack Dorsey, this happened on Monday, November 29th, announced he was leaving Twitter and said, I've decided to leave Twitter because I believe the company is ready to move on from its founders.
That's huge. Like, that's huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. But he's not okay.
So Dorsey left a couple things. Salesforce, which is massive, and freaking Twitter.
But he still is, I think, what is it? Square?
Yep.
He still has Square.
Still has Square.
But I think he's stepping back to focus on Meta, on the VR, and on crypto. And I think that he is going to have more time to invest into creating more implementations of crypto into the social atmosphere. And he needed to step back in order to help implement this. I think. I mean, who am I? But that's just what I think.
Who am I?
Because he's got money, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how much he's worth.
What'd you say? You want to see how much he's worth?
12 billion.
Jeez, man. So there's one more paragraph from this that I thought it was very interesting, because I know once you start hearing about Twitter, Salesforce, like all these like social media networks, Netflix, like all this stuff, you start thinking about, wait a minute, what about Facebook? What about Snapchat? Like, what's going on? What with streaming world? What the hell's going on with Nvidia? Like we see these graphics cards coming, but no shield. So, of course, this is a trend that's happening right now. And obviously when there's a trend, we always got to ask about these other companies that we haven't heard of them yet. The biggest one is Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. He has complete control over Meta.
Wait, yeah, he's an Android.
He's an Android. He's all. He told The Verge, actually, in October, had an interview with them, that he doesn't plan on giving up on his job. And it's pretty much impossible for shareholders to force him out either. And that's a big thanks to the company's stock structure. So he's pretty much set. Jensen Huang is still in charge of NVIDIA until he gets replaced by some kind of digital AI. Snapchat is still by Evan Spiegel. Can't say his last name. So we'll see. We will see. So okay, here's the last thing I want to talk about with the Beyond the BS. Don't buy crypto, or you might be going to jail.
What?
I told you to listen to that damn.
Listen, try and stop me.
I told you to listen to that thing that I sent you yesterday.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer, maybe.
I've been getting a lot of calls from my cousins that are over in the Caribbean and also dealing with people from, Venezuela and other countries like that. And they're looking for places to buy crypto because they're being blocked down there and they want to buy it with cash. Are you getting the same kind of calls? Apparently, the banks are stopping transactions in those countries of purchasing some crypto.
You should have listened to that damn video.
So like, hey, do you want to make some money? You want to sell these? You want to sell some crypto to these people? And I'm like, how much do they want? They're like 50,000. I'm like, yeah, because I got 50K in crypto. That's exactly what I have.
Yeah. So what's happening? Okay, so there's a bill in the United States that passed, and it's going through its channels, and it's slowly getting up to becoming law. It's not law yet, but it's getting there. They're trying to stop crypto completely, where it will become illegal. Canada's on board on this. I know China already blocked it as much as they can. I think India blocked it too, but they're doing their own coin. But the United States, Canada, I think they're working together on stopping this. I don't know how they're gonna stop it. I don't know if this is. It's almost like gambling, I guess you can say a little bit, because it's so volatile because it goes up and down like crazy. But there's this thing that they were talking about that they're trying to block it. That you're not going to be able to purchase it. They're trying to regulate is what they're doing. There was this big thing with Hillary Clinton that she's trying to cripple the whole infrastructure. Like she's trying to cripple the whole thing, and they're trying to create this new coin that is going to be controlled by the government. They're saying, huh?
Is that like one of the city coins?
Fed coin, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Fed coin.
They're saying also that you're not in a uncontrollable state or unwatchable state or untraceable state, because it's on the blockchain that there's ways of tracking all this stuff. And they're saying that you're not decentralized. anymore. There's too many apps out there like Coinbase, KuCoin, crypto.com. There's so many ways that you could purchase this stuff and it goes to a blockchain where everything is connected and tracked. And there's a couple laws coming, taxes. I know you and me had this conversation recently about taxes, about owing money, that the government wants a piece of their pie. If you have money and you make money, I don't know how they do it in Canada, but if you win the lottery and you're like, I want my money, you have to pay a tax on it.
Lottery is one of the few things that is exempted here, but our lottery winnings are not as high as the Powerball. So,
well, what about gambling? If you gamble up there, if you're at do you guys have casinos?
Yeah, it's ours.
So if you are at a casino and you win $1 million, do you guys not get taxed?
No, but like even if I go to the States and I win $1 million in a casino or like a lottery winning, I can fight not to get taxed because I'm a Canadian resident.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Canada's doing with this, but apparently they're joint with the United States on it, on getting taxed on this stuff and blocking certain things. I know there's a big old thing going in Australia right now that they're protesting on stuff like this, but I know we talked about the long haul that Bitcoin ain't going to go nowhere, Ethereum ain't going to go nowhere, and governments are actually trying to stop it, even though there's like trillions of dollars invested in this stuff. They're trying to stop all of it. And they're saying don't be the last one to hold the bag, because once this whole thing gets shut down, it's going to be shut down. Or it's going to be controlled, is what they're saying. So the video that I sent you, the guy does talk about, it's kind of interesting. He started with the thing that's saying you guys need to be a ghost. You guys need to be a ghost and throw your money to offshore accounts. And it's just like, but it could still be traced. You know, if you throw the money to Switzerland, a Swiss account, and then you transfer it into a US account to get that money, guess what? There's a new law. Actually, there's a new law that's coming to the United States. If there's any kind of money that's going into your bank account over I think it's like 16,000 or 1,600 or 600. I don't know.
It's $600.
I think it was like, yeah, it's really low. If anything comes in, it is reported to the IRS. I mean, you could probably, dude, that means everybody who's a teenager who gets money is going to get taxed. How BS is that? So, of course, he says, go to my website and you could sign up to this subscription membership thing and we could help you be a ghost so that way you don't have to pay these taxes. And it's just like, are you saying something illegal here, buddy?
Are you promoting tax evasion?
Yeah, are you promoting tax evasion? That's exactly what it sounded like. And then the second thing he was saying was it kind of makes sense, but it's just like, this isn't, dude, why are you like light bulb turning on? This is like common sense here in the States, at least. He says if you don't pay your taxes and if you buy a freaking Bitcoin and that thing goes up to $1 million and now you pull it out and you want to put it in your bank, the IRS is going to wonder where you got this money, and then you're going to be tax evasion. And it's just like, duh.
Right.
Like, you kind of have to pay for your earnings.
Yeah.
Or winnings or whatever.
This is just the world that we live in, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, when I heard that, I'm just like, dude, are you just learning how to do this with tax? Like me, I talk to my bookkeeper. Hey, what do you think that I should do? Like, how should I do this? He's like, well, if you have it in an investment, don't touch it for a year. Doesn't matter what it does. Don't touch it for a year. The only reason I would touch it is if the money actually dips. He's like, if you put in $1,000 in something, or you put $5 or $500 in something, and all of a sudden it's worth $5, hint, 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 sell it, because then we could claim it as a loss. You could say, I invested 500, I invested 1,000, and I lost $995, or I lost $595, $495. So he's just like, yeah, he's like, dude, definitely, like, pull it out. I'm like, but my thing is like, well, what if it comes back up? He's like, well, if it comes back up, leave it there. If you think it's going to come back up, but if you think that it's done, sell it. Even if you have to pay a fee to sell it, he's like, sell it, because you can claim that too. Hey, I put $500 in, and I'm actually negative $600. He's just like, yeah. He's like, just sell it, however you can, just get rid of it. And I was like, damn, dude, that sucks. But with your taxes, he's like, you could write that off though. And he's like, the second that you sell it and you have it in your account, that becomes a transaction. Meaning the IRS wants to know how much was that transaction and what are we getting from it? Which kind of sucks, because it's like, damn, dude, like, why do I have to pay you guys with my money that was already taxed to begin with?
Oh, they tax you no matter what, bro.
Dude, no matter what. Yeah. It's like, here's my paycheck for $1,000 or $1,200, and they tax me 200, so I'm left with 1,000. So I'm like, great, let me throw it into cryptocurrency, and hey, I just turned my $1,000 into $2,000. Let me pull this out in less than a year. Cool. IRS is like, I need $500. It's like, wait a minute, why do you need $500? But that's what it is.
At the end of the day, you don't ever win. The government does.
Yeah. So I want you to listen to that episode. It's about 30 minutes. Just listen to it while you're like having some chicken wings or something, or while you're driving something.
Okay.
It's a good episode. There is one thing for anybody out there that is a believer in the Bible or religion. There's one thing in there that I think he's a believer of a higher being. And he said something about the mark of the beast. You're familiar about the mark of the beast?
Yes, sir.
Okay. yes, sir. What is the mark of the beast?
It's the mark of the beast.
Are you Googling it?
Maybe.
What is the mark of the beast?
It's those who rejected God.
Yes. Do you know what the actual mark is? Do you know what the numbers are?
Isn't that 6?
Yeah.
Thing? Yeah.
666?
Yeah.
3 6s? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't know. So in the Bible, and this is what a lot of believers believe in, in your religion, do you guys talk about that stuff, or do you guys believe in that stuff too? That's something that could happen?
Well, yeah, like the Antichrist has talked about it in there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, from my understanding, with the Antichrist, with the whole 666, you're gonna need the mark of the beast, so that way you could purchase like food, you can get groceries, you could get gas, you could pay bills, like you could go on to like everything that we're doing right now. You're gonna need this mark of the beast to continue doing what you're doing right now. That's what it says in the Bible. For those who don't believe in the Bible, which is okay, kind of this is what it said in the Bible of what is supposed to happen. Some people think that it's the COVID shot. The COVID shot's the mark of the beast, and they're gonna put some kind of chip inside the shot. Every single book, every single explanation about the mark of the beast, everything, this is like 100% out there, that it says when you get the mark of the beast, it's something that's going to be visible. And they talk about the forehead, and they talk about your wrist. Because when you walk in the store, they're not going to ask you like, hey, can we scan your arm? They're not going to say, can you pull out your card? to see if you got the mark or if you accepted the mark or not. This is something that's going to be like bam. There's a bunch of movies out there that have like a barcode in the back of their neck, or they'll have a code here, and it's like you could see it. Their employees are not going to be like, let me check you. They're like, as soon as you come in, they see it. Boom, you go ahead, come in. You're good. So every time I hear it, when people say like, oh, they're going to sneak it in you, there's 0% of that being said in any book. There's a lot of people out there now speculating and giving theories that they're going to sneak it, but I don't know why you would speculate something like that where every single book says this is going to be something that you know that you're getting, that you're rejecting God. So in this video, he kind of throws that in there a little bit, saying like, ooh, Mark of the Beast. And it's just kind of like, okay. I was kind of like interested in your video, like, oh my gosh. Once he said that, I'm like, okay, grain of salt. But that's why I kind of want you to hear it too, because I want you to listen to what he says. A couple things besides that little piece that he talks about Mark of the Beast and the whole unification of currency, which is something that has been talked about for years. The European Union already started that with the euro.
Yeah, the euro.
The Amero was something that was in production. Did you hear about that one?
Of course, I'm in North America. I'm going to hear about the Amero stupid freaking bullshit.
I know. I don't know what happened to that. It just didn't happen.
America happened to that. You guys would never go for a consolidation of coin. Of
America happened. My country, 'tis of thee. America. I don't know.
That's what you get.
It's true though. All the BS that. Well, actually, it's probably a good thing it didn't happen anyway. But, I don't know, man. There's just so much crap that's been out in the news. There's so much stuff out there, and I think it's very. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just very interesting to hear all these different aspects. Now, do you like personal feeling? Do you think crypto could actually be crippled? Like, do you think crypto could actually stop existing, or do you think the governments will take control of it eventually?
So, I don't think that crypto will ever stop existing. I do think that there will be obviously government coins. I do also think that there will be like a flake out, like a scare, where some of the people that are in some of these smaller unknown coins might be shaken out of. You know what I mean? I think that there's going to be, once they start to be accepted by banks and by governments, it's only going to be a very, very small handful that are actually recognized, like let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm just speculating, right? Everything else may not actually be recognized. Who knows how the initial onboarding process is going to look like? And who knows what that's going to look like when it comes to exchanges, right? Because does that mean that the banks are now going to become exchanges if they're accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because they're exchanging it, right? So I think that there's going to be a lot of interesting things that happen. And I don't know what's going to happen to the other exchanges once the banks start accepting cryptocurrency. I do believe that they will start accepting crypto, but I think that there's going to be a lot of rules, a lot of regulations. And I think that once that happens, that there's going to be a lot of pressure on the current exchanges that we have because they're not a bank. You know what I mean? The government's going to be like, well, we call it over here the Bank of Canada works with these 5 or 6 banks, right? You guys have probably, you call it the reserve or something. I'm not sure. Right. So the reserve works with these banks. Why do we want our people putting their tax dollars in offshore because they're not exchanges that are on our property somewhere else? So I think that there's going to be a lot of fear mongering once the banks start accepting it and become their own exchanges. So I don't know. I don't think crypto's going anywhere, and I do think that everyone should have a cold storage and just put away a little bit for down the road. You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree 100%. I think, I honestly think what's going to happen is governments are going to control this somehow. I really do think there's going to be a shakedown with smaller coins going away. They're going to be here for a minute and then they're going to be gone. The big ones will survive. I do think there is going to be like an exchange, like you said, like with stocks, but in a cryptocurrency thing. Um, I'm kind of interested to see where NFTs and gaming is going to go
Oh, for
to.
sure.
I think I think gaming has a long life with this stuff because as of right now, I use the example with Fortnite. You could buy these skins and they're worth nothing. It's like imagine buying a vehicle, buying a car, and I know the old saying is as soon as you drive out of the lot, your car's value goes down. But there's a difference. If I buy a $50,000 car, drive off the lot, I could probably sell it for 40, 45. Right now, I could actually sell it for 60 because there's a shortage on cars. So you can actually, like, right now my truck is a year old and I could actually sell my truck for more than what it's worth and for more than what I paid for just because there's a shortage of vehicles. But when it comes to like gaming, for example, the second I buy a skin for $10, it's worth zero because I cannot sell it. I cannot do anything with it. So I'm actually hoping that the crypto gaming is there where I could actually say, hey, I have this skin. If next level is like, hey, dude, I know you bought it for $20, but I'll buy it for $5. Cool. Now I have some value, even if it's a little bit. Even if it's a little bit of a value, I would be like, great, here it is. Here's $5. Take it. And I'll throw in an extra harvesting tool for it, like, you know what I mean? Just something that's just like, cool. Now I could actually trade, it's like having action figures, but in a digital stance. Now, NFTs, I did hear this word and I hate it. I hate when people use the word scam so freely.
You're a scam.
Dude, I'm a real person. I'm not a scam, I promise.
You're a scam inu.
Scam Inu. So I heard this where they say NFTs is the biggest scam when it comes to the crypto market. They're like, how the hell is a JPEG worth thousands of dollars? And my thought process is like, why do you care if somebody spends thousands of dollars on a JPEG? What do you got?
Okay, so shoes, right? Shoes are a big thing. You see people selling shoes and reselling shoes and like waiting for drops of shoes and selling it for hundreds of dollars. Like I never really understood until recently how big shoes were. Like people make a
Huge.
living buying and selling shoes, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Nike Nike isn't a big company because they have really good quality product. Let's be real. Nike's a big company because they understand marketing.
Michael Jordan.
Right. And what did they say about Michael? They said,
Be like Mike.
be like Mike. So if you ever wanted to be like Mike, you have to buy these shoes. It doesn't matter what the shoes are, what they look like. If you want to be like Mike, you have to wear these shoes. So you are not paying for the shoes. You're paying for a vision or something that you value. You value Mike and you want to envision yourself to look like Mike, right? So it's not the idea that they're buying a JPEG. They're buying the vision and the value behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the thing is, okay, I hate to call people out, so I'm not. But I will say this. If you use the word scam, don't be an idiot when you say the word scam. If you have no idea how to even define the word scam. This honestly pisses me off. I've heard this within the streaming world. I've heard this within the audio world. I've heard this within the TV world, with the shoes, with fashion, you name it. You could use, like, that word scam has been thrown around in every single market out there. Here's the thing. I have a can here that's open that I've been drinking it. And if somebody says, bro, I'm a fan of yours, let me have your can, because I could say, hey, Rojas drank out of this can, I'll pay $5 for it. I'd be like, really? I'm gonna wash it for you, dude. But here's the thing. If somebody wants to buy that and they're getting a product, this is important. If somebody gives you money, doesn't matter how much it is, and you actually get something for it that you that you know what you're paying for, that's not a scam. This is a scam. If I'm trying to sell this can and then I send you a picture of a can, that's a scam. If I don't send you something and I disappear, that's a scam. If I send you exactly what I listed, that is not a scam. So if I post a JPEG picture and I say, hey, I'm selling this, I'm selling a picture of Rojas and Next Level as cartoon characters for $1,000. And somebody's like, dude, yes, let me buy that from you. Cool, here you go. Here's your JPEG for $1,000. We only made one. That's not a scam. That is not a scam, because you are getting your product. You are getting what you purchased. And if that's what you purchased, and if you don't understand it, if you're just like, why would somebody pay $1,000? That's none of your, oh man, I got to use this thing here. Ready?
Uh-oh.
That's none of your business. It isn't. That's none of your business how much money I spend where and why. It's not. You know, people go to garage sales and they're just like, is that an old school Nintendo? Bro, is that with the original games? Is this the original one with the box? I'll give you $1,000 for that. People will be like, dude, why are you going to buy that for $1,000 when you go to eBay and find the exact same thing in the box and everything and probably spend $100? You know what? That guy, if he wants to spend $1,000 on it, he's getting exactly what he paid for. He's like, dude, how much do you want it right now? Cash. Whatever. So to me, every time I hear the word, this is a scam. Okay, Karen. Okay, Brandon. Sit the flip down.
Fuck off.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of how my feelings are. What was that story about the Fire Stick? Remember that I spent a grip ton of money and they're like, that's not a real friend.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I knew what I was paying for and I got what I wanted. It's not a scam.
Yeah. I mean, at the time, You paid for what your expectations were. If your expectations changed later, then you can't go get a refund.
Here's the thing. I educated myself how to do it. I educated myself on
So it's your fault.
So yeah. So that's all it is. It's just educate yourself. Don't throw the scam words so freely. Damn it. Cool. I think that's all I got for Beyond the BS. Every time we go, we just have a few articles and we go, it's over an hour, dude. Awesome. Possum. So yeah, last thing I gotta say is appreciate you guys for coming out. Happy holidays. Can't believe it's the end of the freaking year already. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But we appreciate you guys for stopping by and listening to us. There's so much BS happening out there in the world, and we're gonna bring it to you. If you like it or not, we're gonna bring it to you.
X gonna give it to you.
X gonna give it to you.
Jeez.
Oh man. Hey, and big shout out to that we have a couple subscribers within the Telegram groups and who leave us comments. Every time you guys leave us comments, sometimes we don't reply back, but we do read them. I was laughing because people are saying like, dude, I'm listening to this and Next Level saying about Timbuktu and I can't stop laughing.
It's a real place. I swear it's a real place.
Oh yeah, they were Googling it too. And then they're just like, yeah, it's somewhere in Europe or something. They're having a conversation about Timbuktu also. I thought that was awesome. I'm like, cool. I'm like, you guys actually listen to Timbuktu.
That's right. If you don't get anything from us, you can go to Timbuktu.
Hey, see, there's a history lesson right there. Timbuktu actually exists. You're like, I heard you say Timbuktu a couple times. Is that a real place? Oh man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. As always, make sure you guys do check the description below for anything that we are sponsored with. Helps us a lot. Plus, you get a product. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. It's free for you. Helps us a great, tremendous amount. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Leave us a review. Leave us a comment. Be safe during the holidays. Don't be stupid. Don't do a Rojas. Next, what do you got, man?
Yeah, same shit. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for following. Wherever you're listening to us on the audio side, make sure that you leave us a review so other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. And make sure that you come out every Thursday, usually around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we have our live streams. So you can come out, be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community, and all that kind of good stuff. So you never know where the conversation is going to go. We start one place, we end another, and you never know who might join us one day. So make sure that you are turning on those notifications and you're following us everywhere that you can possibly follow us. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.